there was an aspect of it of leadership, right, where he was kind of showing us how to lead from a place of love, right? Not lead from I'm the father, so this is what I do and this is how I do it. But he'll set the tone, and he will always make it so clear that yeah, I'm leading from a place of love. Then there was also the I now started realizing, obviously now being a dad, that there's also the aspect of that there's also the aspect of and how there was
Okay.
discipline in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he was teaching us how to be a man, right? It's like, or teaching you how to be, yeah, exactly, and these things were coming across, but he was doing it so subtly. He wasn't saying it out loud. And now, as a father, I now realize, hey, there were so many, as I go through different phases, because when your kids are babies, that's
Mm-hmm.
one phase. A tickle is enough to solve every problem. You hit your head, just tickle them. They've forgotten about it, and then they grow up to the stage where, they start reading. And then everything you write, you now have to be careful because they
True.
read. And then they go
True.
to the stage now where they're asking questions, and the questions aren't just like, what are we doing? It's more like, why did we do that, and why did you do this exactly? And you said this that time, and you're doing this time, and it's like, whoa. So you now start to realize that there's also another aspect of fatherhood, which is
Mm-hmm.
accountability, right? So I'll cut it off there. We could go on. It's a really deep question.
Thank you. Absolutely. I would like to hear your opinion, even though I
On
said
that question,
on that question. Because I would like to hear your opinion on that question. It can be brief for you.
okay, can I hear the question again?
Sure. How would you say your opinion of fatherhood, or how you perceive fatherhood, has evolved over time as you've grown? From a child, how you were, and now as an adult, as a father.
I mean, because of the uniqueness of my own. Sorry, is it echoing or is it just me?
As
I
a
think
sound
there's
guy.
an echo,
As
right?
a sound guy, he can hear.
Yeah, maybe we can get the other mic, please. Thank you. It's echoing. Okay, this is better now. No. Hello?
Perfect. You have carried.
Okay, can you hear me? Well, maybe we need to take the monitors down so the echo, yeah, the feedback. Okay, cool. Fatherhood evolve over the years. So because of the uniqueness of my experience, right, I didn't have a present dad, right? I was raised by a single mom. And so early on, my experience of fatherhood was more of a broken relationship, broken trust. And that kind of makes sense as to why God has led me in the path to when you asked the first question and I said fatherhood means trust. Because I realized that every gap that was created by me not having a present dad, somehow God just sorted me out on my journey. And so that's why that trust is very big for me because I used to stress a lot. Not having a physical man in the house, I used to get very bothered about how I would raise kids because I only had, the feminine aspect from my mom who tried her best to be a dad and a mom at the same time and also providing all the good stuff. But as I grew and then eventually got married and had a child, I realized that I had to accept my limitations as a man. And I think that's something that as men we struggle to do a lot, especially men of African descent, because we're educated to be the all in all. So very early on, I had to accept my limitation. And that's when I started leaning more and more into trust. And like, Brashay said, at this point, where you have kids who are now intelligible and are asking questions, it just makes that trust more and more needed because there are some questions you would have answers to, but as a father, I'm confident enough to tell my son, I don't know, but I'll get the answer and I'll get back to you. I didn't have that experience growing up. I didn't even have anybody to be able to ask, right? So that's how that has evolved over time. At the end of the day, trust kind of anchors the entire journey for
That's
me.
so good. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really good. Um, Thank you. So I think the next question I'm asking here would be, what are some, I think you already mentioned that, so that would just be a follow-up pretty much. What are some stereotypes about fatherhood that you are consciously, I think you kind of mentioned that, consciously
I have
trying
more
to.
stereotypes I can
Okay,
share.
absolutely. That's right. What are some stereotypes that you feel like as a father that you're consciously trying to break?
Number one is vulnerability. Like that for me is big, right? Because I was educated by history and experience to not be vulnerable. Like, men are tough. So I had to learn to be vulnerable. A couple